Los Angeles, January 2013. A young woman steps into an elevator. She presses every button. Then she steps out, peering down the hall like something is following her. The doors never close. 19 days later, they found her body on the roof. 6 people in this video were caught on camera in their final known moments. In every case, the footage should have answered everything. Instead, it only deepened the mystery. Some cameras even caught them running from something no one else could see. Her name was Elisa Lam, 21, a student from Vancouver traveling alone. She checked into the Cecil Hotel in January 2013. Within weeks, that grainy elevator video was seen around the world, and it explained nothing. For nearly 3 weeks, guests complained. The water pressure was low. It tasted sweet and ran black from the taps. A maintenance worker finally climbed to the roof to check the tanks. Inside one of the rooftop water tanks, he found Elisa. She had been dead for days. The tank was tall, its heavy lid in place, and how she got inside, no one has ever agreed. The coroner ruled it an accidental drowning. Bipolar disorder, a contributing factor, but the strange elevator movements were never explained. In a college town in Ohio, another camera watched a young man walk into a bar and somehow never walk out. Columbus, Ohio, 2006. Just after 1 a.m., a security camera filmed a young man walking into a Columbus bar. The same camera covered the only exit. It watched that doorway for hours. He never came back out. And he was never seen again. Brian Shaffer was 27, a medical student. It was April 1st, 2006, out celebrating spring break with a friend. They rode the escalator up to the ugly tuna saloona. The camera filmed him arriving. It never filmed him leaving. Cameras caught him near the entrance around 2 a.m., talking with 2 women. The bar was closing. His friend went home. Brian stayed behind. There was construction beside the bar, but no unfilmed way out. Detectives reviewed the tapes frame by frame. People flowed out as the bar closed. Brian never appeared among them. No exit, no struggle, no body. It was as if he stepped out of frame and out of the world. No credit card use, no phone signal. Years on, not a single trace of Brian Shaffer has ever surfaced. His father searched until his own death, never knowing. The bar has since closed, its cameras long gone. 2 years earlier, in the mountains of New Hampshire, another camera had caught a student, hours before she drove into the dark and disappeared. Haverhill, New Hampshire, 2004. A store camera filmed her buying drinks alone. Hours later, her car sat crashed on a dark country road. A neighbor offered to call for help. She told him not to. When police arrived, she was gone. Maura Murray was 21, a nursing student at UMass. On February 9, 2004, she emailed her professors about a family emergency. There was no emergency. She packed the car, drove north into New Hampshire, and told no one where. An ATM and a liquor store camera caught her in Hanover that evening. Then she drove west on Route 112. Around 7 p.m., her black Saturn skidded off the road near Haverhill. A bus driver living nearby saw her by the wreck. The neighbor, Butch Atwood, offered to call the police. She said she had already called roadside assistance. There was no cell signal for miles. He went inside and dialed 911 anyway. Officers arrived within minutes. The car was locked, the windshield cracked. Maura was gone. No footprints led away, no trail. 20 years later, she has never been found. Searches, podcasts and theories, none have closed the case. She vanished into cold woods she didn't know. 9 years later, on a Texas highway at night, another young driver would run into the dark, this time with a phone still connected to 911. Bronte, Texas, 2013. At 12:30 a.m., a 911 call came in from a Texas highway. A man had run out of gas. Then his voice changed. He was running, through the brush, in the dark. Someone, he said, was chasing him. Brandon Lawson was 26. On August 8, 2013, his truck ran dry near Bronte, Texas. He called his brother, then called 911. That recording would be studied for years, and it only raised more questions. On the tape, he tells the dispatcher he crossed a fence. He's out of breath, crashing through mesquite. He says people are coming after him. Then the line breaks up, and enhanced versions seem to catch a second voice. The call cut off. Brandon never came home. For nearly 9 years there was nothing. Then, in July 2022, skeletal remains were found in a field, less than a mile from where he vanished. Why the remains went undiscovered so close, no one could explain. What he was running from, we may never know. A year later, on a security camera in a Bulgarian airport, another young man would suddenly panic and sprint into the trees. Varna, Bulgaria, 2014. An airport camera shows a young man sitting calmly with his bag. Then he freezes. He grabs his things, drops them, and bolts for the doors. He runs across the lot and vaults a fence. Lars Mittank was never seen again. Lars Mittank was 28, a German tourist. He'd been on holiday at Golden Sands near Varna, Bulgaria. After a fight over a football result, he was hurt and stayed behind while friends flew home. On July 8, 2014, he came to the airport alone. A doctor had warned him not to fly with an ear infection. In the days before, he had grown paranoid. He texted his mother that 4 men were following him. He believed people wanted to hurt him. He messaged his mother from the airport. He told her not to call his number again. He said he was in danger. Minutes later, the camera caught him running. He ran into the woods behind the airport and vanished. No passport used, no card, no signal. Bulgarian police searched the forest and found nothing at all. His medical records suggested the infection may have caused delirium, but no one knows what he saw. And in the jungles of Panama, 2 young women had already left behind the strangest footage of all, a camera that kept taking pictures long after they disappeared. Boquete, Panama, 2014. Weeks after 2 hikers vanished, their camera was found. On it, nearly 100 photos. All taken in a single night, in total darkness. Pitch black jungle, wet rocks. And the back of one girl's head. Kremers was 21. With her friend Lisanne, she was volunteering near Boquete, Panama. On April 1st, 2014, the 2 set out on the Pianista trail, a short afternoon hike. They never returned. Lisanne Froon was 22, carrying the camera and her phone. The trail climbs through cloud forest, then falls into steep ravines. Somewhere past the summit, something went wrong. By evening, both phones were dialing emergency numbers. For days, the phones tried 112 and 911. They connected only for seconds, high on the ridge. One correct pin, then silence. No call ever got through to a rescuer. The camera stayed switched off for a week. Then, On the night of April 8th, it took nearly 90 photographs in 3 hours. Every one of them in total darkness. The photos show wet rocks, plastic bags, a small mirror, and the back of Kris's head. No faces, no people. The camera meant to capture everything, captured nothing anyone can explain. Weeks later, searchers found Kris's shorts, neatly folded on a rock by a river. A backpack, scattered bones, a foot still laced inside its boot. Panama called it an accident. Many refused to believe it. 6 people, 6 cameras. Not one showed us the truth. Every one of them was caught on camera in their final known moments. The footage survived, the people did not. Which case disturbed you the most? The elevator, the airport, or the jungle? Tell me your theory in the comments. And if you want the next case the moment it drops, subscribe. It helps more than you know.